All right, you're still watching the program this morning on ITV. It's now time for us to look at other issues. I remember I told you earlier that we'll be exploring the effects of Nigerian students, the recent reforms on the UK immigration policy that was released a few days ago, the white paper that was released a few days ago. How would this affect Africans at large? Because you know that most of the fear of people living the shores of Nigeria always have destination, and one of these destinations is the United Kingdom, where people go there to seek greener pasture. But this time around, the UK government is trying to make it more safer for those who are migrating to that part of the country to ensure that they make it easier for their own economy, but also reduce the numbers of those who are coming in there. And there are so many factors and reasons behind this new blue paper, or rather a white paper, as it is being called in the UK. And I have joining me via Zoom this morning to look at this very important topic. It is a political and African affairs analyst, Michael Larry. Here we have his story chief. A very good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's begin with the white paper. So many persons may not understand what this very new policy is all about. But can you give us an overview before we get into the other issues surrounding it?
Oh, sorry, the connectivity from your end is kind of funny. I think you're talking about the white paper and what it means to people, right?
Of course, yes.
If I can get you right, okay. Okay, all right, yeah. Good morning first. Good morning everyone at home. Yeah, the white paper, what it just means, it's like we all know, it's a white paper. It is not a law yet. It's going to go through the Act of Parliament. It's going to be voted. There's going to be consultation and all that. And if it passes through and it is implemented, it is going to come into effect. But what it just basically means is, it means that the British government are looking out for the British people, and it's telling us, okay, you Africans or everyone that are migrants, maybe you should do what is right, and for us to start demanding for good governance from our people, because that is what it means. Because primary reason for any government in the world is to protect its citizenry first before you open to the world. And I know a lot of people already are agitating and are thinking, oh, these people are being tough and all that. Yes, in as much as we think they are being tough, but are immigrant the priority of any government? I don't think it is. The priority of any government in the world is first its citizenry, then before you can think of immigrant and integration to other people, because you need to first not do that. But what it means is that the free passages or leading to things that were to be lax for them, for us to lash on before, and no more there again. And we now have to now start upskilling ourselves as individuals or as a people. If we think our destiny lies outside the shores of our nations or of our continent, then we need to prove ourselves worthy, that we deserve to be there. We need to show the people that we have skills embedded in us that they would need, and we have something of value to offer them.
Look at this, what should be expected, or what we have in that very white paper, those major policies changes that should be expected, especially the area of social services or social care recruitment. I think most Nigerians who travel abroad or travel to the UK usually get engaged in that very area, and then these are some of the areas where the UK is going to be working on, that the new overseas application for social visa will be altered from now. Why do we have so much Nigerians going through that process?
Yes, the health sector, yes. You know, the truth of the nature, the truth of the matter is there's a shortage of healthcare workers it is presently. I wonder how the UK government want to go about it, because presently they have about 130,000 shortage, even when they left it open. Now that they want to shut down it must skyrocket because they have people that need to care for the elderly, people with health care challenges and all that. I really don't know how they want to do that. But I guess they have to, it's a way of quickly trying to control what is happening because already, as of the reports we had, at the report I saw last 2023 or so, they had about 930,000 people that came in and all that, which they claim which is actually about the size of the second largest city in the UK, which is Birmingham. Is already showing that the influx of people, the facilities, the social facility, the infrastructural facility might not be able to cater if that door is being opened. That is one thing. On the other way, and they're trying to cut that fact. But I know for sure that this might not scale through. For me, I don't really see it scale through. Yeah, they will try to clean up that sector because we all know what's happening too. You can see people from Africa, not just Nigeria, so I don't want to say Nigeria. People from Africa, some part of Asia and Asia too, where people come into this healthcare sector and people go through these agencies and all that. And this particular visa type was abused. We need to tell ourselves the truth. It was totally abused. People were brought in and they couldn't get job for them and all that. And the government probably just saw it as a way. They said like it was a backdoor that people actually is abused and all that, and they probably trying to control and correct that. So if our people to be truthful with others and stop playing all those dirty games and all that, and it starts with each and every one of us, we know it is not just our own problem, but we can contribute our quota in ensuring that if we offer people this visa, offer these people these chances as agency, we get the job, get to them, and we'll do our own part. Other people do their own part. This might be able to do that, but the government or the kids will probably just want to call this insurgency, because as far as I'm concerned, it's an insurgency when you can't take care of, you are not able to tackle, you are not able to provide the needed facility, whether infrastructural or social facility for people because of the influx. And we must understand something that the Western world, not just the UK, United Kingdom, United States, every part, France, every part of the Western world has always had a way to blame immigrant or immigration for their problems and their woes. And that at times breaks my heart when I see that happen. And it brings me to the question that, okay, why are we always being blamed? Maybe if we have good governance back home, we may not have to migrate.
If we're talking about good infrastructure, probably our healthcare system is working properly. I will not have Nigerians migrating to the UK. But let's look at the education aspect. Most persons felt that when you travel abroad, you get the best of education, and then you'll have the opportunity to even work on some of those highbrow companies that we see. But now that the UK has also reduced the working visa for students, do you think that will, as a way of keeping back Nigerians to study here, and then we make use of those talents back here at home? That is, if this white paper passes through.
Okay, I think, like I said, I could barely hear you. I think you're talking about brain drain, right?
Yes, the brain drain. Now, students will travel abroad too.
Yes. Our students come here and students come to the UK, go to the US, go to Canada, don't want to come back, brain drain. Yeah, but there's constantly going to be brain drain, like I just said, if we don't have good governance. You discover that people know their worth, after you've gone through this financial stress from your parents or your guardian or yourself, depending on the case, and you've sent yourself to school or you've been sent to school to study, and you have put in the time of studying and bringing out a good result, and you've improved on yourself, and you're back into Nigeria, you're in the Nigerian system, but you are not being paid what is measurable to your skills. You want to go for greener pasture and all that. And they'll constantly be bringing because people want better life. Let us tell ourselves the truth. Everyone wants better life for themselves, even not for themselves, but for their children and their family and all that. And as a result of that, they will constantly keep moving. And as human beings that we are, that is the nature of human being naturally to constantly move and all that. But it boils down to the fact that our people, that our government needs to start giving what we need, because the truth is there is no government in the world that can provide all the jobs, that can provide all the needed businesses. Or any good government in the world has been doing or they will do is to provide an enabling environment for businesses and all that to strive. Now that is now when, if we want to stop this brain drain in Nigeria, which we need to really stop, because Nigerians are known to be tenacious. We are known for being tenacious. We are known for being smart. We are known for being intelligent. We are known for being innovative. We are known to think outside the box. So with all these gifts and with all these abilities we have, what do we need? We just need the government to give us an environment, an enabling environment where we can now begin to showcase these things we have. So we need our government to be able to face what good governance is and stop dilly-dallying and stop all the shenanigans they are doing. Let them face governance, let them give us good environment, let them give us security, let us give Nigerian power, let them give Nigeria policies that can make investors come, so that even those, because this can try to serve as a blessing in disguise. This policy can serve as a blessing in disguise if our government do what they need to do, and if our governments are implementing what they need to implement. I can tell you our foreign direct investment will be high, because I can tell you a lot of people that will be affected with this will be bringing in a lot of funds back home, repatriating their funds. And if they can repatriate their funds and invest it in Nigeria and they see it work, and they know the environment is good for them to do the business, they will be glad to do the business, and Nigeria will gain from it. So it will actually be a blessing. Instead of us complaining, I think we should go our government and let them do what is right, so that instead of this being a problem, it can be a plus to the Nigerian economy.
I know so many persons will tend to probably argue with you on this very fast, but it's always seen as a long-term project for Nigeria to actually have these things working for them who are abroad to return back to the country. If you talk about foreign investment coming back to invest in the country, we need to get our power stuff, we need to get security fixed and all that, but it's a project that the government always tell you they are working on it and working on it. But what would be the effect if this policy goes through on Nigerians? Because as it stands now, most persons are still looking up for ways to leave the shores of this country. Even as we speak this morning, you go to embassies, you still see Nigerians there. Some persons were thinking probably this when the US president was inaugurated, Donald Trump, the immigration policy may have prompted what the UK is planning to do and trying to reduce migrants from coming into their country and taking over their labor force. That's what we see most times in most of these foreign countries. But what do you think would be the effect on Nigeria economy? Let's look at it at that area. Are we going to be having more inflow? Do we going to see Nigeria being deported? What will happen if this paper passes through?
No, I don't think Nigerians, they will deport people. I don't think it's about deportation. See, it's about, okay, you have your regular, see, the law is, if you're in the country, you are already in the process, you complete the process you are in. So if you are a student and you are already a student and you are entitled to your 2 years for studies, even now that they want to make it 18 months, probably you have your 8 years, your 2 years. If it's 18 months, you still have the 18-month time of grace for people study for you to plan and to think. And if you are on a study, if you are on a work or you're a skilled worker visa, is already running, it will run its course and all that. They are not just going to say, oh, we don't want you not taking a no, they won't do that. We all know that's not how it works. It's going to be wrong. And what is going to be the impact on Nigerians? Not just Nigerians, because I think we are making it think it is a Nigerian thing. It is a thing that it is done for all immigrant Nigerians, Africans, Asians, even Europeans, so it's a total thing that is being done for everyone, so not just Nigerians. So Nigerians are not targeted. We need to get that right. And now, if that is going to be, so what we need to do, like we said, is this is not the time to put our thinking camp up and start thinking, okay, if this is going to affect me, what is our options? What are plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D? And if you now have that, what is the plan of the government? Because the government must be able to now give these people or anybody that is affected a soft landing. Now, anybody that now knows that they're already here and they don't want to, okay, the journey is longer than they thought it is, or the route is longer than they thought it is, and they want to come back home, they should be able to come back home, have their investment. And when they have that, because the first thing is in investment is naturally the financial resources, it is the human capital resources. As it is, we have the human capital resources as a nation, Nigeria. So if we narrow it down to Nigeria, since we are talking Nigeria, we have the human resources that probably will be coming back. So what is the government's plan to now accommodate everyone that probably will be thinking to come back because they can't, they don't want to, they can't cope with whatever policy it is now. So when they come back, what it is, are they providing adequate security? And like I've always said, security is one of the easiest things. It might be a dicey thing. It's one of the easiest things to do for any government that know what it's doing. So if they code security and that security is well taken care of, another thing, is not rocket science, but it's one of the easiest things to tackle if we are genuine about it. And when you do that, things for me, it is not a long time. I feel it is one of the low-hanging fruit for Nigeria security to be tackled and power to be tackled. Believe me, a lot of Nigerians will actually be back before this is being implemented because they have what it takes, but they know what it takes to survive in tough places and tough situations.
All right, I quite understand you're passionate about the development of this country, despite the fact that we are still battling with some of those issues you mentioned, security, power, and all that. But from where we got, from the feelers we're getting now, that Nigerians who feel, not just Nigerians, immigrants that are in the UK, they are kind of, should I use the word, being maltreated in terms of the kind of work I stand to be corrected. There are persons who don't get the right placement in terms of employment, but simply because you want to survive, you want to be wherever you're doing things. I don't know whether that assertion is true, because I don't see myself traveling to a country where my skills might not be needed, and I will be there for that very long time. We're still talking about the where people travel and do all sorts of jobs just to survive. Do we still have such playing there in the UK?
Okay, I'll tell you, brother. Like I said, it looks funny that people feel. You see, if Nigerians are feeling maltreated, I know a lot. Some might be feeling it, but even in Nigerians and Nigerians not feeling maltreated. I think Iranians may not taking care of people and people being killed at that, and some people feel that they're second citizens even in their country. So these are the things it boils down, and I will tell you, look, you will be in a part, from where I'm from, they tell you that you are dressed the way you are dressed, and if the Nigerians put a value, if the Nigerian government put a value to the Nigerian life or to the quality of life of the Nigerian, every part of the world will respect it. Anywhere you see an American, and you see an American in any part of the world, you see American, they are being accorded that respect. Why? Because their country has placed a value on their life, and they put a value on how they are being treated. So if you want to be respected anywhere in the world, it boils down to how our government is treating us. Is our government actually seeing us as people to be respected? So immediately we get that, because about mindset, when we are taking our places and people think, okay, you are coming to the country not because you want to be in their country, but because you just want to come, because you want to have a different perspective of life, of where you are coming from. They will respect you. Now, we need to understand something too, so to not start doing that on the jobs and all that. If we keep improving, we must understand something in life. There's one thing that don't play with all this out. There's the God factor. No matter how tough it is, we must understand that the God factor plays in it. And after the God factor, it depends on what we have to offer. A lot of Nigerians will tell you, I'm this, I'm that. But in the real sense of it, it's all about certificate for us in Nigeria. in the Western world, it doesn't work about certificate. It works about what can you offer. It's not you being a PhD or a professor or having first class. Look, I worked in Nigeria before, and I know that I did a lot of recruitment, and I've seen a lot of first class graduates that don't even know jack about the field they say they are, because they just went to cram and pass, because Nigerians love certificates. They don't even have the skills. The fact that you have those first class, you have PhD, how well can you do the job you say you're doing? Yeah, computer science. How many Nigerian computer scientists have written codes that are working? Or how many Nigerian engineers, what kind of engineers that done things that genuine, that know what to do? We just see them read and read and read and read and read. None of them actually can prove it. You see Nigerian lawyer first class in school, first class in law school. They can't even do a proper defense in a court of law. If it's corporate law, they can't even read through some good documents for you. Those are the things. So I don't think people are maltreated if you come with skills and your skills are there. And if you have the skills, you have Nigerians that have got good jobs. Even away from Nigeria, not even coming to the UK. I know a lot of people that got skilled worker visa for high paid job in the UK here. Look, that time when they tell me, whoa, and they got that, yeah, because they did the interview in Nigeria and they did all those things and they saw the skills. If you have the skills, like I said, first, the God factor. The second one is you improving on yourself, having the skills. Once you have the skills, I don't think anybody will offer you a job less than what you should be getting.
Well, thank you so much. Time will allow us to truly analyze all these, some of the policies in the rights paper. But I believe when, as time goes on, if that passes, just the way you said, if it passed through, I will be calling you again to see how we throw more light on this. So I must thank you so much for joining us. Michael Larry, today he is a political and African affairs analyst joining us from the UK this month. Thank you again for being on the program.